Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Health Solutions with Sean and Janet Needham. And I can tell you, this is going to be packed with a lot of energy. I know someone that said that they love Anna because she has a lot of energy. So be ready for this. It's going to be a lot of information and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited to have Anna on. And she was so filled with so much energy, I forgot to do the introduction. So welcome to Health Solutions with Sean and Janet Needham, where Team Needham discusses everything healthcare. And I am your host, Sean Needham, and I am streaming by myself in downtown Spokane, Washington. And I'm excited to have Anna Wilson with AnnaRockstar Fitness on today. And I actually found her on TikTok. If you don't have a TikTok account, you are missing out. I know it's yet another social media that you have to monitor and all that. But I will tell you the cool thing about TikTok, maybe not so cool thing, is that the videos are all short. So you can learn a lot of information in a lot of quick videos. The problem is that you just keep saying, I just want to watch one more, watch one more. And Anna has a lot of those one more videos, and she is packed with energy, and she has a great health journey of her own. So one of the things she does now is she helps women to lose weight. And this is Anna. Anna, tell us about these pictures, the time frame of these pictures.
First, I do want to thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean and Janet, for inviting me to this podcast and this live. I feel very honored, and I'm super excited to share my story. The pictures you're seeing here, I think they kind of speak for themselves. And a lot of the women that I help every day, when they see these pictures, it's almost unbelievable. I've been maintaining my weight for over 3 years now. So for me, I kind of sometimes lose sight of, wow, this is kind of unbelievable when I look at these pictures. But the truth is, when you can believe in yourself and you put in the work and you do it consistently, that this can happen for you too. And I believe this so strongly that I wanted to help other women do the same thing on a bigger level. So this is me in 2017, at the beginning of 2017, just over 200 pounds. And I started back on WW, a program most people know about because I had gone there several times and it had worked. But this time in 2017, I did it differently. I didn't want to just lose weight. I wanted to be fit and strong and healthy. And so when I was reaching my goals in terms of weight loss, I started learning more the scientific approach of what it means to lose weight and to maintain it, which is, of course, calories and understanding macros. And in a simple way, I needed to understand it. And I just love strength training. And yes, I'm passionate about this, definitely.
That is very obvious, Anna. And that is awesome. So do you mind telling us, you start out, you're right at 200 pounds in the before picture. So what are you in the after picture and now?
Now, well, I got down I lost over 60 pounds at the time. I've gained a few pounds since, but it's all muscle for me. I'm a pretty lean person. So I've been maintaining now, but yeah, basically lost 60 pounds.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, you look awesome. And one thing is, and you already kind of hit on it, but we can talk about it a little bit more, is that, and I've talked about it all the time on our podcast, because, the scale is just a tool to kind of monitor, progress, but there's so many other tools also. And, our body composition and how we look is probably the most important. So the scale is not always, the end all, right?
Right. I agree. And that's the thing that I teach my clients, because how many times did I lose weight and I never really reached a goal weight and maintained it? That's one thing. But the other thing that happened, because back before I had kids, I loved to run and I ran a lot. I didn't do any strength training, but I got down to a weight that what I thought was happy, and like, yay, this is the weight I wanted to. But a lot of women get to what they think is a goal weight, and they look in the mirror and they say, wow, I don't look like I thought I was going to look. Why don't I not look fit? Like, I've lost all this weight. And that's what had happened to me a few times. But of course, the struggle to try to maintain the weight was real. And I think a lot of women just they don't understand that body composition is what we're really looking for.
Right.
I know we say we want to lose weight, but what we really want is we want to lose the fat and we want to have a shaped body. And I've got some pictures of when I did a marathon back in 2000 and a picture side by side, and I don't look fit. I mean, I did a whole marathon in 2000. And no, you don't see any muscle definition. There is no shape. You wouldn't look at me and say, wow, she's really fit. But I feel amazing now, and the game changer for me was strength training, and this is what I teach is the importance of strength training, especially as we're aging as women. So yeah, there's a difference between just losing weight and losing fat, because women want to look toned. This is the word they like to use. They're like, I want to be toned and I want to have arms that are shaped and
Yeah.
wear the tank tops but you got to lose fat and you have to gain muscle. You have to do both so that you can shrink your skin to your muscle and your muscle is going to show. And then you're going to have a shape that looks fit.
Right. And I hear that from so many women, and the arms is pretty important to a lot of women. That's one of the things that they really want to focus on. And it is important, just like you say, to lose the fat first. You can't really, some people think you might be able to build your arms without, if you have a lot of fat on them, and it's not the muscle will be there, but it just won't show. So it's important to lose the weight also. Now, when you said, they want to be fit, I mean, let's face it, the reason most of us work out, I mean, I do strength training in the gym a few days a week, and I am an endurance mountain bike racer also. But one of the reasons I do that is to be fit, but also just to look good. Don't we want to look good? Isn't that true?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because when we feel like we look good, we look good and we feel good. I think it makes a huge difference, especially in your self-confidence. And yeah, we want to look good. There isn't anything wrong with that.
So speaking
Right.
of your self-confidence, did you have this much energy in 2017 when you were 60 pounds heavier? I mean, or
Oh
did
my
you gain
gosh.
all over the last 3 or 4 years or 5 years?
No, I cannot say that I had all of this energy. And truthfully, I know some people that are quote unquote fit. They don't need to lose weight and they do exercise and this kind of thing. But really the energy, besides the fact that I am conditioned fitness wise, the energy I feel like that I get is because of my nutrition, and because I'm implementing rest days and recovery days, and putting all of the nutrients and the vitamins and everything that your body needs to be balanced, right? Like homeostasis. And that's a big deal. I don't think you can have the energy when we're putting in garbage in our bodies all the time. And I just want to put just a little side note. I am not one of these people like that's good food, that's bad food. Like, believe me, I add my fun foods in. I make it part of my life. I think enjoying some of these, what we call junk food, I think that's part of a healthy lifestyle, just not all of the time. Most of the time, just fueling our bodies with the healthy foods that our bodies were intended to eat. And yes, it has made a tremendous difference in my body and in my mind and in my self-confidence and my energy. But I do want to speak to that because there, like I say, before I would lose weight, but I wasn't so conscious of eating in a healthy way and the foods that are going to give me that energy, that stamina, and keep me healthy too, because that's a big thing right now, especially with everything going on and all of this illnesses. It's so important for us to be giving our bodies what we need so that we can defend and fight off any illnesses and prevent them.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Now, you come from a healthcare background, just as I do. You're an RN, correct?
Correct. I
So
am.
one of the things that we talk about on this podcast all the time is proximity principle. And in healthcare, and it's kind of like you are who you hang around, correct?
Right.
And some people get upset when we talk about this, but it's just there's truth to it. And I will say in healthcare, I don't know why we call it healthcare. It's really sick care. And most of the healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses, pharmacists,
Yeah.
are not healthy at all.
Uh, That's
And I
right.
will tell you, when I was working in that environment around those people, not that I still don't, but I've tried to model myself differently. Is there are a lot of them that are unhealthy, and we were talking about just before the show. Go into your local hospital and for lunch sometime, and just look at all the obese healthcare workers. And I'm not fat shaming anybody. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just true, and tell me about your experience with that.
Yeah, and I am still an RN, and just to clarify, I'm not working as an RN in the hospital anymore. I'm working full time as an online coach. But when I was working in the hospital, I did, and I was going through. Just by the way, I was working full time in the hospital in the operating room. I'm an OR nurse in surgery, and at that time, I worked as a nurse. Those schedules are tough. So
Mhm.
many nurses are working these 12-hour shifts. They're doing back-to-back shifts. They're working really hard. It's not an easy job, and it's very exhausting and fatiguing to your body and your mind. But yes, we are surrounded with those people, and I saw that all the time, and I think I was really frustrated with that environment, especially what you just said, because in healthcare, here we are, we're trying to promote health. We're trying to promote fitness, we're trying to prevent, illness and all of this, but yet as healthcare workers, what are we doing? And this is my message to everybody. You need to love yourself and care for yourself. And that's how you are going to be giving the best care to other people. So I was frustrated because I felt like it was such a conflict when I worked in the hospital. I did bring my own meals and my own snacks, and I would have to sneak off to eat something because you just don't get a chance. You don't get a chance to go to the restroom. You don't get a chance to drink water. You don't get a chance to really eat your snacks and fuel yourself. But I did the best I could at the time. But it is very frustrating because I feel like that environment is not, it's not conducive to health and fitness. They the way that they, well, at least in my experience, I wasn't given the opportunity to take care of myself during a shift.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And I think it's inspiring to see somebody like yourself, in that environment, come out of that environment, and inspire others and motivate others. Because I think as healthcare professionals, we need to be models to our patients, because, it's kind of hard to preach health to our patients when we're not healthy. So,
Absolutely. I
you know,
agree. Yeah.
yeah.
And
And so,
I want to say though too, this is the thing that I want to say, because since we're talking about this, the message I want to share with everybody in the healthcare, you can still make yourself a priority. It just comes down to how you want to spend your time and make decisions. Sometimes we have to make some hard decisions, making sure to get to bed on time, making sure that you make yourself a priority and get yourself on a schedule. For myself, it was very important that I get on that, a proper wake sleep pattern and making sure that I was eating healthy. But it's possible. So we can't make excuses because I did it. I did it
absolutely.
while I was working full
Right.
time as a nurse in the hospital. So yeah,
It is. It is definitely possible. So tell us a little bit about your program. So you specifically target women. So tell us about your program, and should women work out different than men?
sure. So the reason I got into this, and it wasn't an easy move. It wasn't an easy shift. I still remember so vividly the day that I decided I was going to become a coach. And I remember going to the hospital to go empty out my locker, on that last day. And I was doing an Instagram story, and I was like, y'all, I can't believe I'm doing this, and emptying out my locker. But I just took a leap of faith because at the time I had already been helping women and friends. And so my passion is so strong for this. I said, I couldn't even focus on doing the nurse thing in the hospital anymore because I really wanted so much to help women lose weight, and get fit and strong and healthy and make themselves a priority. So that's what I did, and it was at the beginning of, actually it was at the end of 2019. So it was before even the pandemic hit. I made this leap of faith to get started, and putting the nuts and bolts together of my online business in the very beginning. And then in 2020, just before the whole pandemic happened, I launched my first coaching thing. Even though I had started coaching one-on-one with people, I launched a group coaching, and in the spring. And some of us were really scared, like, what are we doing? But since then, it has just continued to grow. And what I offer online is so close to one-on-one coaching at a fraction of the cost. I mean, not to bring in the money, but it's my dream, because trying to coach people one at a time isn't going to impact like I want it to. And so now I'm having an impact on just a number of women at one time, because in our program, my teaching is an online portal, and I train on proper nutrition. I talk about fitness and mindset. So these are the 3 pillars of Rock That Fitness for women: nutrition and strength training and your mindset. And we talk a lot about mindset, because without mindset, we're not going to be putting in the work and implementing all the tools. And so I do tend to focus a lot on that. It's very important for me, because I know back when I was trying to lose weight, get fit, healthy, all of the obstacles that we face, and those obstacles are real and they're in our mind, and we have to learn how to overcome them. And when we overcome them little by little, we get stronger, and then we just get closer and closer to becoming the best version of ourselves. So that's what we do. We're online. I deliver strength training workouts. It's a 3-day-a-week strength training, because that's what I have always done. I haven't needed to do any more. People are usually surprised. I do not spend hours and hours in the gym strength training. It's just 3 days a week, lower body, upper body, full body. And I'm not trying to cross the stage in a bikini. I'm just trying to be healthy, fit, and strong. And that's what I am teaching other women to do, because you can incorporate this in your everyday life. You don't have to be a fitness coach. You don't have to be, a competition strength trainer or, bodybuilder. So I'm teaching them the nuts and bolts of nutrition, and, not eliminating any one type of food, but being able to incorporate your foods in your lifestyle and have fun and enjoy it along the way.
Yeah, enjoy the journey. It's a process, and we need to enjoy the process, not just the destination, right?
100%. That to me is the bottom line. It really is. And I preach that a lot. It's like, you have your objective goal out there, but what really matters is, what are your daily actions? What are the daily steps that you have told yourself and committed to yourself to do? Focus on that, because that's going to get you there.
Correct. So what should a typical woman expect when they sign up for your program?
Well, one of the biggest, number one, fantastic things that you can expect if you do join Rock That Fitness is, it's a community of women that are all on their own individual journeys and have customized what they need to do for themselves to reach their goals. And this community of women, we call ourselves rock stars, all the rock stars, right? And I know this is my group and I'm biased, of course, but I've never been a part of any group online or any group ever as encouraging, positive, and uplifting as this group. And it's not like, Pollyanna, oh, it's so great. I mean, like, we go through some tough times together. We have women in there that are, they're cancer survivors. We have women in here that are dealing with all kinds of, hormonal issues, Hashimoto's, diabetes. We welcome everybody, and everybody's on their own journey in this place. We have ages anywhere from in their 30s into their 60s. We are just a group of women that are loving each other and encouraging each other in our goals. So you can expect that. You can expect to come in and know that when you say, hi, this is me, you're going to be welcomed with open arms, and you're going to get the support and care that you need. And we're all there helping each other. So yeah, there's some technical things, that we have an online portal where you have to sign in, and I've got everything in there, step-by-step guide, just to take the guesswork out. And you just follow the guide step by step, got the training videos in there. And then I do live Zoom meetings and I do live Facebook meetings. So I'm your coach. I'm there for you. I will answer your questions personally to help you along your own customized plan.
So tell us, should men and women work out differently?
No, I don't think they should work out differently. We talked, you had said that earlier when we were going to get on this podcast, and I was like, no, women and men don't work out differently. I mean, we're all humans. We have the same, shape structure. We're just a little bit, we just get a little bit of different plumbing, and we're either you're stronger, not as strong. It doesn't matter. We are still creating the same movements with our bodies. So no, we're not going to be working out differently. Yeah, that to me doesn't even seem like a topic.
Yeah, right. I mean, we did put it in there because we get that question. So that's why I wanted you to answer that question. And I agree with you. And it's interesting because it sounds like your workouts are basically the same as my workouts. Because I focus on mountain bike racing. I only do 2 days a week in the gym, but 2 upper body, 2 lower body, and 2 core workouts. And that's pretty much it. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and really my gym sessions, and I wanted to ask about yours. My gym sessions are, less than 30 minutes most of the time.
Yeah. When I
Sometimes they'll be over, but not usually.
Well, and you're breaking yours up in a different split. So for me, when I'm doing mine, I usually can get out of there in 45 minutes, and it's been like that since the beginning. I think in the beginning I started out maybe 30 minutes, just getting used to everything. But yeah, definitely the training that I do and the training that I program for the rock stars and Rock That Fitness is just you can get out in less than an hour or so, probably about 45 minutes. And the whole goal is so that you can feel stronger, um, feel better. You're going to increase your stability, your mobility, your strength. It's all about creating a more quality way of life, because when we can do this right, it's not taking up all of our time, but we're adding it into our lives as part of a lifestyle. Then it's going to help us in our life. This and everything, carrying all the heavy groceries in the house, picking up your grandkids,
It,
like.
you don't realize it, when I've had friends that have lost weight, and myself too, but when I've had friends that have lost weight, they don't realize the things that they couldn't do until they could do them again when they start losing weight. And
Yeah.
it is just, and I just can't, yeah, it's just unreal. So we do have a question from a viewer. If you can you see this, Anna? Can you see that question?
What is the protocol for determining a client's most effective workout? The
That's a broad
protocol.
question. Thank you, Mr.
Dude,
Lee.
that is so broad. That's really broad. I mean, I think it just comes down to where are they at? What's their baseline, and go from there. Because I would not, and the same thing, like with the strength training programs that I design, I'm not expecting that anybody would be able to come in there and do these things intensely. And of course, you can have modifications. And here's the thing with any workout plan, any workout training program, there's not really a beginner plan and an advanced plan. It really comes down to taking those movements and modifying them for where you are at. And we all start somewhere. So if I gave you this workout plan, it doesn't matter if it's a beginner plan or an intermediate plan. You can modify it or bring more intensity to that same plan. So it just depends on the client and where they're starting, where they're at, and that's where you go from.
Well, and let me just, you know, add on to that is that some people think they get too worked up in the details when they first start a program, and they say, "Well, I need this kind of weight, I need this kind of weight, I need these weights, I need this, I need that," and you know. First thing I tell them is like, okay, you might need some kind of weight, but what do you have at home? Well, I've got 5 pound dumbbells. Start with that. That's all
Yeah.
you need. And because here's the reality, this is what I have to tell them is that, what are you doing now? Well, I'm doing nothing now. Well, if you just did the movements without weights, it would be beneficial. So even start at that. And people don't realize how beneficial that is. And then you can just always add weight as you progress. Because, and you don't really need, this is another thing that, I mean, unless you're a power lifter or a bodybuilder, if you just want to be fit and look good, you don't need heavy weight at all, right?
Right. That's right.
You
That's
want to
right.
expand on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot agree with you more. The plans that I design every month, I put out a new plan for our rock stars, and I give them a workout plan that they can do at home. And then I have another program they can do at the gym. And I know everybody's seeing me lifting heavy weights and I'm at the gym. I love the gym environment, but you can absolutely get results at home. And we have a lot of women in Rock That Fitness that do their strength training at home. They are just happy doing it at home. And I've got a list of basic at home equipment that you start out with. But really, even if you don't have anything, you can start. I do have a program in there for beginners to come in and just start with body weight. Look at gymnasts. They're not out lifting weights. Look at their body because they're
Right. Very
using
effective. Right.
body weights, right?
Right.
That's just the body weight is enough really to get strong and lean. And so, yeah, I totally agree. Start with what you have. I think that's one of the things I call that, and you've heard it, I'm sure before, that paralysis analysis or analysis paralysis, where it's like, oh, I don't know what I need and this and that. And you make up all these reasons why you don't just start, but really comes down to just start. You'll learn and you'll figure it out along the way, no matter what it is.
And just be ready to modify. So I'm not real familiar with your detailed plans. I've seen your videos on TikTok and things, but like for instance, if you can't do a push-up on your toes, then do it on your knees. If you can't do a plank, do a plank on your knees. Just do something.
Yes.
If you can't do a one-legged squat, then don't do a one-legged squat. Just do a two-legged squat.
Right. Exactly.
Right. If you can't do it with weights, do it with just body weight. Very effective.
Yes, I know. Believe me, I'm watching these women inside of Rock That Fitness that are getting results and starting to do real push-ups. Let's say they're calling them real push-ups. I think any push-up is a real push-up, but they want to do a standard push-up on their toes. It's the greatest thing. It's a goal to achieve, and they have started out maybe doing push-ups against a wall, doing push-ups on a countertop, then down, just getting stronger and stronger until they're doing push-ups on their knees. And can getting that one first push up, and we're celebrating. So yeah, it just start where you are. What can you do?
So Lee Pence is expanding his question, and I can add to this too. Anna, if you go ahead and read the question, please.
What are the elements you would consider when developing a client's base plan? Okay, that's also pretty broad, but I'll do my best to try.
And so Lee Pitts is one of my great friends.
Okay, good.
I'm watching, and I think I know where he's going. So I'm going to let you go ahead, Anna, and then I'll ask you some questions so you can expand on it.
Okay, sure. I think what's really important, especially when it comes to just getting started, like I say, I have to say it just depends on where the person is, because some people, they're just trying to start a habit, and maybe they just need to make a habit of doing something, whether it's walking every day or 3 days a week. They're going to show up. Showing up is number one, right? Because you want to create a habit. So some people might just start by walking.
Hold on, Anna. Let me stop you right there. Okay, sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay.
But Lee Pence he's a musician, a guitar player, and an awesome guitar player. I even say he's the best guitar player behind Eddie Van Halen. But he is my good friend.
Okay, that's great.
But I will say this. One thing he says as a musician, the first thing to do as a musician, he told me this, I'm not a musician. But he would tell me, he goes, look, for a musician, the most important thing is to show up and play. Right?
Yeah. I'm a musician too, so.
I see. I was going to ask you about your guitar.
Yes, I'm in a band. I'm in my own band. I have a band.
Awesome. Good for you. So where the rock star comes in, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So Lee can probably, just by seeing the tip of the bottom of that guitar, he probably
that's
knows
my
a
Fender
lot
guitar.
about that guitar.
Yeah, the very first electric guitar.
Awesome.
The wrong one. Okay. But yeah, I think if we're talking about strength training, the goal is that you want to be on a regimented plan. You don't want to just be grabbing workout plans all over the internet, because to see progress, you have to have progressive overload. And in order to do that, you have to be on a structured strength training program. Yes, you're going to be doing repetitive exercises, repetitive movements over weeks in a program. And you need to do that, or you're not going to be making progress. And maybe that's boring exercises all the time, every week. But what's not boring is results.
Right.
But the goal is that you want to hit your muscles once or twice a week in every week. So that's why I just focus on, we're doing lower body exercises one day. One day we're doing upper body exercises. And then the next day of that week, we're going to be doing full body. And hopefully we're getting all of the pull push muscles in that week.
Yep.
That's the minimum. I hope that answers the question.
I
What
think
is it, Sean?
I think it does. And I like how you expanded on the workout routine throughout the week. So like on my workouts and my gym workouts, I do push pulls, upper body, lower body, and then core. And I do 2 sets of all those. But I do that in one workout, and I do that twice a week. But here's one of the differences. What I do is I don't lift really, really heavy. And so I've got plenty of time to recover. So what I was going to ask you is, as we age, and I hate admitting this, but I just admit it, and I can, and I've seen over the last few years, I need more recovery time as I age. There's just no doubt about it. So, I could have lifted 7 days a week when I was 19 years old. In fact, there were times I did, and it didn't matter. I think when you're that age, it's really difficult to overtrain. But as we age, and this is why it's so important, in my opinion, to have a personal coach. And I have a coach for my mountain bike racing who helps me strength train and obviously do train on the bike. And the most important thing that he puts into my regimen is recovery.
Yes.
So you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I do. I think a lot of women think that they just need to be going hard, go hard, hard, hard so they can get their results. But the problem with that is if you don't give your muscles time to recover, you're really doing yourself more harm than you are good. You're increasing your risk for injury, and you're not giving your muscles time to recover so they can build. So I agree. I think women, as we age too, that is just the truth, right? Because we can't, there's no taking back time. We can actually get stronger, feel more young, feel younger when we take care of our health and our fitness. But yes, I do think that sometimes we do, and everybody's different, right? Everybody has a different metabolism, a different physique, a different anatomy, genetics, that all plays a role. But it's really important that we're not pushing ourselves to the point where you're so sore for 3 days. And I do talk about this with my clients. Look, if you're getting soreness past 2 days, you went too heavy on your exercises that day, so back off. It's really comes down to knowing your body, listening to your body, and definitely taking the recovery that you need, the time that you need to recover.
So we talk about push pulls a lot on our podcast, and I just realized that I really haven't defined what that is. So sometimes, Anna, we talk like everybody just knows what a push pull is.
Oh,
so
okay.
Let's give some examples of upper body push pulls. Go ahead and give some examples of upper body push pulls.
Oh yeah, easy. Okay, like definitely pulling would be like bicep curls. You're pulling, you're contracting your bicep. You're throwing me out like, oh my god, what else is a pull? Like rowing, doing rows, that's going to be a pull. Anything you're going to be using like the muscle of where you're pulling. So just imagine you're pulling something, that's a pull exercise. What else? Reverse rows, inverted rows,
upright rows.
Upright rows, that's pulling. Even if you're doing, okay, that's good. So pushing like overhead press, that's pushing away from you. Push-ups, that's pushing. So anything where you're going to be pushing away, that's a push exercise. These are for your upper body. That's just a simple version.
Right, that is. And so let's do some examples of push pulls for lower body. It's the same concept, push pulls.
It absolutely is.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the basic one, squats, that's going to be a pushing.
Yep.
If you're using machines, you got leg extension. You got the hamstring. That's the curl. If you're doing the hamstring, gosh, I wish I could show you. But even if you're doing like deadlifts, we're talking that's going to be like that's the pull, because that your hamstring is like the equivalent of your bicep in your arm. So if you think about that, it's like the opposite. And when you're doing your push pulls, you definitely want to make sure you're working both your push muscles and your pull muscles, because they work together and you don't want to have one stronger than the other. You want to have that balance. So if you're working your quads, you also want to get work into your hamstrings.
Yeah. So I think are you when you are you big into isolating muscles, or like are you trying to get as much movement as you get as much muscle activity from a certain movement? So like for instance, on a when I think of a push, I try to I try to get the most done in the least amount of time. So I would try to do a shoulder press over a chest press, just because you get more shoulder, you get more shoulder action. So can you comment on
Oh
that?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, I totally love that you asked this question because it takes me back to the beginning, back when I started getting involved in strength training. And one of the things that I learned, and I really believe in this, and that's compound movements. And so your basic compound movements, because these are the movements that we use all of the time and are going to make us the strongest for our everyday life. And a compound movement, which would be like bench press, squats, overhead press, push ups, pull ups, chin ups, because these are they're compound movements because you're using multiple muscles at one time. So that's why we call it a compound movement. And I think that that's really important to make sure that you're doing compound movements. I call those your strength move, the first one of your training set that day. So to me, those are the most important, and they do incorporate pushing and pulling. Did I answer that question? I feel like I
Oh,
went off.
perfect. That was perfect answer. Yeah, I think so. And I guess I just wanted to clear that up, because I think sometimes we focus too much when we hear about people lifting weights. We hear
Yeah.
about people, focusing on a certain body part or whatever. And that's what bodybuilders do. And that's what they have to do to look good on stage. But, if you want to be fit overall and just in
Yes.
good health, I think you do just the opposite, because I try to mimic functional movements.
Yes.
So,
Functional. Yeah. That's
because
the word.
what did we use? What did we do 100 years ago? We weren't working out with weights. We were throwing around hay bales. We were lifting hand
Absolutely.
lines. We were
That's
doing
right.
all kinds of stuff with our entire body. So
Yeah.
speaking of compound movements, I love compound movements. And I even go one step further than what you're talking about. And I throw compound movements into upper body and lower body. So a dumbbell squat into a shoulder press. I mean, just you can get so much done with that workout alone.
Yeah.
And you could even throw in a curl to a dumbbell squat to a shoulder press. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, so compound movements are very effective. And I don't know if you usually don't do upper body and lower body same day though, correct?
I do a lower body, an upper body, and then we do a full body. But yeah, I used to do a lot of those too. Um, but yeah, I'm not doing those as much as I used to. I really focus on the compound move.
Yep. Yep.
And then we go into what they like to call accessory moves, which just breaking down and doing more like the isolated muscle groups.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of push-ups. They're so important. I mean, like
Oh,
we get on the floor and you want to get up,
yep.
like that's a functional movement.
And you've got no excuse to not do them, because you can do them while
You can
you're
do a push-up, yeah.
a layover in the airport. I've done push-ups at layovers in the airport, because
Right.
you got everything you need. So
Yes.
Jen
And
Smith, you know what? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
no,
Anna.
I was just going to throw in there real quick that compound movements also engage the core, and that's really important for our back, our abdominal, everything. Your core is it's so important with everything that we do in life. And so that's why compound movements are also very important, is to get a very strong core. Go ahead.
So Jen Smith, what do you do on non-strength training days?
Oh, myself. Well, everybody does things differently. I personally do my cardio on those days. I think it's important to dedicate strength training. That's your strength training day. You want to put the energy into that. And so I do cardio on my other days. I like to run. Everybody has their thing that they love. I just enjoy running. and cycling. Those are my two things. And of course, resting, a rest day, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean like laying around. A rest day for me might be going for walks or hiking or riding my skateboard or something like that.
You on non-workout days, do something, yoga, stretching,
Oh, yes, stretching.
just something. And if it's not a total rest day, which I do believe in having probably at least one rest day a week, total rest day, and maybe not total rest where you don't do nothing, but maybe no strength, no cardio.
Yeah.
Rowing is a great cardio exercise. I when I'm not biking, I usually row, and the nice thing about rowing is it's a good body workout too.
Yeah.
You work it's a pull movement, not really a push, but you work your legs and your arms, and it's a great cardiovascular exercise
I
too.
agree. I used that. I had an injury of my calf where I couldn't do very much, and I ended up doing the rowing. And I
Yeah.
had never rowed before. But I was like, man, I got to get something in, and I did use the rower. So I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So as we wrap this up, Anna, I just wanted to say, it's obvious. I usually ask our guests, what do you have a passion for? But it's obvious with your big smile. And if anybody has seen you on social media, it's obvious what you have a passion for. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad that you are doing this and inspiring others, because you really are a very motivating individual. So thank you for what you're doing. But that
Thank
being
you so
said,
much.
you must have a passion for something else. So tell us what you have a passion for. What drives you?
This is actually my biggest
This is
passion,
it.
I
Good.
think. I think I have another passion for entertainment. So I'm in a band. We're called Flying Free. I'm the lead singer, and I sing and I play guitar. We're just a cover band, and for me, it's just a great outlet. It's really fun, and I love to make people feel happy, and people are happy, and that's what I want to see. So that's my other passion, is just entertainment. I think that's why I throw in entertainment, because I just love to see people laugh and smile, and it's just for that moment you can be human and relax and not be so stressed out about all the cares of this world. So that's
Yeah.
my other passion, I guess.
I'm not surprised that you're a singer and guitar player. It doesn't surprise me at all. You're a dancer too. On TikTok, you become a
I
good
am not
dancer.
a dancer. I'm a wannabe. I try. I just pretend. I want to dance. That's on my goals of this year. I want to learn how to dance. Anyways, are we wrapping up? I just want to
Yep.
give a
Yep.
message. Okay.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, people have any questions? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Oh, yeah, you can find me. Oh, I live on Instagram. TikTok is something that I would say, kind of experimenting with in the past few months. I want to get better at it, do more of it, because I want to help more people and give more help, But I live on Instagram. You can find me there at AnnaRockstar23, AnnaRockstar23, or you can email me at AnnaRockstar23@gmail.com. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to help you. You can find my website, AnnaRockstar Fitness. It's online, AnnaRockstar Fitness. That's how you can find me.
So how would you like to, are there any parting words you would like to end this podcast with, Anna, to inspire others?
I would. I just want to say that if you are somebody that you feel like you have a lot of weight to lose and you feel overwhelmed, and that where you're at is feeling very overwhelming and dreadful, and like, where do I start? We talked about this earlier in this podcast. I just want to encourage you to just start and focus on one thing, just one thing you can do. Like, think about, what is your struggle? What is your main obstacle? And start focusing on changing some habits in that area. The reason I say that is because when I had lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, gained weight, I always tried to stay active, and I tried to work out all the time, and I couldn't understand why I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. But truthfully, for myself, and this could be for some people, a lot of people, nutrition was my problem. I didn't fully understand it, and I also wasn't consistent with it. So that was my focus for my first, I don't know how long. It took a long time. Listen, habits take as long as they take. Don't listen to like the statistics of how long a habit takes, because they take as long as they take. So don't give up. Work on that one thing until it sticks. Don't try to do everything at once. Just do one thing until that sticks. And then after that, you can move on to another habit. But just focus on building one habit at a time. And you can do it. Believe in yourself, okay? I believe in you, and you need to believe in you. And if you don't believe in you yet, you can borrow some of my belief, because I totally believe in you and you can do this.
I love it, Anna. You are have so much energy, and you are so inspiring. I really appreciate you being on today, and you've definitely realized our goal at Health Solutions, which is educating and empowering others to basically take charge of their own health. And you've definitely realized that goal. So thank you for being on, Anna.
Thank you, Sean, and thank you, Janet. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And tune in Monday. We will, as always, we will have our podcast 12:30 to 1:30 Pacific Standard Time, and we will have Noah from Lasso Health on. And there is some cool things going on in healthcare. So you know how we talk about healthcare being expensive, and you know how we've said it doesn't have to be. You just have to know how to shop for it. Well, welcome to the Uber of healthcare, the Amazon of healthcare, where you type in something into an application, the Lasso app, and it will give you a price of what you should be paying for this and where you can go. So you don't want to miss out on that. It will educate a lot of people on how to save thousands of dollars on healthcare. So that's one of the things we'd like to do too, is educate individuals to take charge of their own healthcare, and that includes financial. So you guys are in charge. So thank you for tuning in and listening to Health Solutions with Sean and Janet Needham, and tune in Monday. Hope to see you then. Thanks for tuning in.